pouring mimosas, and Chloe was wearing my
grandmother's vintage brooch, which she had borrowed from my jewelry box without asking. Mark was beaming, looking at Chloe as she told a story about their college days. "You know," Lydia said, tapping her glass, "it feels so right having us all together. Elena, you've been such a good sport, but maybe it's time we talk about the long term. Chloe needs stability. We were thinking, the guest house in the back, if you could just renovate it for her." I stood up. The room went silent. "I have a better idea," I said, my voice steady and clear. I pulled a stack of envelopes from my pocket and set them on the table. One for Sarah, one for Lydia, one for Mark, and a very special one for Chloe. "What's this, honey?" Mark asked, frowning. "It's a guest list," I said. "A list of people who are no longer welcome in my home. And Chloe, it includes a copy of your bank statement from the offshore account you forgot to mention. You aren't bankrupt. You're a squatter." Chloe's face went gray. I don't know what you're talking about." "And Sarah," I turned to his sister, "next time you plot to replace a wife, make sure you don't send the blueprints to her phone. I've seen the texts." Lydia bristled. "Now see here, Elena, this is family business. You can't talk to us like—" "This isn't your family, Lydia," I snapped. "This is my house. My name is on the deed. My money pays the taxes. And as of 10 minutes ago, I've signed the papers to put this property on the market." Mark stood up, panicked. "You did what? Where are we going to live?" I looked at him, really looked at him, and realized I didn't love him anymore. I loved a version of him that didn't exist. I loved a man who would have protected me. "I don't know where you are going to live, Mark," I said, "but you have 2 hours.
Or help your family pack their things. The locks are being changed at 5 p.m. I've already moved my things into a rental by the coast." The fallout was nuclear. Mark cried, he begged, he claimed he was confused and manipulated. Lydia called me a cold-hearted monster. Sarah tried to delete the texts, but I had already printed them out and sent them to her husband. But as I watched them scramble to pack their things, as I watched Chloe drop her fragile act and snarl at me like a cornered animal, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders that I hadn't even realized I was carrying. I realized that being the bigger person doesn't mean enduring abuse. It means being big enough to walk away from people who see your kindness as a weakness. I ended up selling the house for a massive profit. I moved to a small cottage by the sea, where the only scent in the air is salt and cedar. No gardenias. Mark tried to call me a few months later. He was living in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment with Chloe and his mother because Chloe's inheritance was tied up in a legal battle with her ex-husband in Europe. He sounded tired. He sounded broken. I didn't pick up. I just blocked